What's cracking, peeps? Happy Saturday night. T-Money up in the Heezy. Here to bring you guys a movie review. It's of a movie that I watched recently from 2018. It was released recently, a couple weeks ago, by the name of The Fear Footage. I really, really enjoyed this movie. That's why I'm here to review it. It's written and directed by Ricky Umberger. It's from 2018. I don't know who the cast is. It's an indie film horror movie, so nobody really familiar. But it's basically an anthology film, and it's about a sheriff who is dispatched to a location where calls are coming in saying that this house that was uh, um, demolished a year prior, people are seeing reports of that it's mysteriously reappeared. So he gets a call, he's dispatched to the location, goes inside the house. The movie's very dimly lit, it's a very dark film, all takes place at night. And when he's inside the house, he comes across a VHS tape, plays it, kind of similar to the movie, not VHS, what was it? Where the girl plays the Tormentor, the movie that's based off of. Similar to that, and then he finds a mysterious VHS tape, plays it, and then it shows different shorts. So the first story on the tape is called Birthday Party, and it's about a young boy gets a video camera for his birthday. Um, he's just very intrigued by it, carries it everywhere with him while he's skateboarding, whatever. And then there's a scene where he's filming in his room, and you see the TV's on, and there's reports that there's been clown sightings around the nation. Doesn't say like what's going on, but just that there are clown sightings, and Halloween season's approaching. So be careful, lock your doors, that sort of thing. I'm not even sure if it says that, but come to find out, the young boy sees very much like Clown House, reminiscent of the scene where the kids are up in the window and they look out and they see a clown. Similar to that, very jump scary, very creepy. The effects in this movie, or the scares in this movie, are done very well. This guy's definitely the director. I don't know if this is his film debut, but he definitely had a good grasp on how to successfully, I think, you know, pop off jump scares effectively, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But it's a good short. I would say the clown makeup effects in it are pretty good. The practical effects in it are okay. They're not amazing, but it was creepy nonetheless. They make really good use of the it's all shot through the kid's camera. He's holding his camera, and they make really good use of like creating tension through that. There's a scene where he's like shooting down the steps, and it's like what you anticipate coming around the corner type thing, and they just really hold on these stairs a lot in the short, and it's creepy, and it works. The one thing I'd say about this short that I didn't love was the ending. I wanted just a little bit more. One thing that I'd say about this movie, what I didn't like about it, there were a lot of scenes that really triggered my imagination, and I felt like if they had done them differently, they could have been a lot more effective. Even though a lot of the scares and just filming in this movie was effective and good, well done, it kind of, there were certain things that bothered me that I would have liked to. Basically, the endings of a lot of the shorts I felt like were a little bit weak, and if they had done them differently, in my opinion, they would have been a lot better, and I could think of ways that they could do them better, but that's all film critics, sort of thing. But so the ending of this one wasn't the greatest for me. What I like about this movie is that it basically plays like, again, similar to God, I wish I could remember the movie that Tormentor, or Terrifier, I'm sorry, that Terrifier was based off of. The first one, where she plays the VHS tape, comes to a short. It's similar to that, in that he's in this house that he's dispatched to, and in between playing the different segments, he kind of, like, he'll play a segment, then he'll stroll around the house, do a little bit more, what's the word? Looking around, trying to figure out what's going on, investigating. And then he'll go back to it, and I think it's like supernatural things, like all of a sudden the TV will be playing again in the room, and then he'll go back to it and press play again, and then a new short. But the wraparound is really good. It all makes sense. There's a reason for it. At that point, after he plays, and I don't know how in depth I want to go with this, I really liked it, so I really want to talk about it, but after the first short, he stumbles into a room in the house where he reads a diary. It's called Megan's Diary, I think, and it's basically details this girl Megan who moved into a new girl. Her parents just moved into the house, and you find out the reason why the house was demolished is linked to this little girl's diary. That's all I'll say about that. It's very good. It's creepy. And then he goes back to the room, presses play. You get the second story, and the second story is called Storm Chasers, and it was probably my favorite short. It was really good. It was about a group of 3 guys. They're just, storm chasers. They, detail intense storms. They go out to document a storm that's supposed to be coming, and I want you to think, what did I say? House of the Devil. There's a gunshot scene in that movie that catches you off guard. Think of that. Think House of the Devil gunshot scene. And then it basically triggers this whole crazy ass chain of events. The dudes disperse into the woods. They're basically a group of Satanists out in the wilderness where they're going to supposedly track this storm, and just shit goes completely awry. And then the guys are separated, and they're chased after by this group of Satanists. They separate, come together, that sort of thing, and it leads them to this basically man-built, dilapidated house. I think the Blair Witch Project remake, sort of, in that sense, it reminded me of that. And just in the terms of the looks of the actual structure and the whole, design inside of the house. But come to find out, there's some shit going down in there with the Satanists. Very creepy. Some of the images in this movie, in this short, are really, really creepy. Satan himself makes an appearance. And it's very, I think, it reminded me a lot of Marilyn Manson, Sweet Dreams music video, where you've got this tall figure, kind of, and also the movie From the Dark, where you've got this looming dark figure kind of coasting down the hall. Very creepy imagery, very good. Again, I would have liked to have seen more of that. And again, there were scenes where when they're rummaging in and out of the house, in the woods and outside around the area, in my head, I kept thinking the devil was going to reappear, coasting down this I don't know what it was, some sort of brick wall. But it didn't happen, and I was like, oh man, it would have been so good if they had given us more of that, because it was really creepy imagery, and it was really effective. Again, the ending of this short, I wasn't too fond of. In my head, I wanted something else, but it was still good. I think it was a little bit more cliche of an ending, with, I've seen a lot of movies with satanic rituals end in that way, so I would have liked to have seen more of the devil and less of the cult, I guess, traditional cult seance type thing. Sorry about the heater behind me. But it was still very good. Very good use of music throughout this film as well, particularly inside of that, when the deputy's in the house, there's a lot of weird, I don't know, almost like James Wan, Insidious style music going, Tiptoe Through the Tulips. Older music like that, I guess. I don't know if that's even a right depiction, but the music was used effectively, particularly in the house. Yeah, I just said the ending of the second short didn't quite please my expectations I had created in my head, but there is a great decapitation sequence, I will say that. And again, the first 2 sequences are, actually all 3 sequences are through the eyes of a cameraman. So in the first story, it's the young boy with his camera he gets for his birthday. The second story, it's the storm chasers, with their video cameras. And the third story, which is called Speak No Evil, was another really creepy, effective story about a guy who, his girlfriend accuses him of being back on drugs, but because he hears sounds coming from the woods in his condominium complex behind his house, and he is determined to, she moves out with the son or with the daughter. She gets goes away, I guess, to stay with her mom or whatever, because she's creeped out by her boyfriend. She thinks he's back on drugs, so he's determined to figure out what he's hearing and to prove to her that it is not what's going on. He's not on drugs. There's shit going on in the woods, and It's just a really great story. There's a great wraparound in it. Everything kind of comes together, the whole mystique. But basically, you come to find out that there was a priest in 1991 who slaughtered a bunch of kids on Halloween night in this, I guess, not mosque, but church that he built out in the woods behind the guy's house. And there were 12 children that were murdered, I think decapitated, tongues cut out, all that. And so it's obviously linked to what the dude is hearing. And there's also a really good like twist tie-in type thing that I won't spoil, but I thought it was really good. It was really creepy. The priest's voice was very creepy. Particularly enjoyed the makeup effects of the priest in this one. Really, really good use of jump scares. And in this one as well, very creepy, very effective. Just boom, right at the camera type stuff when you least expect it, but you kind of do. But again, it's because it's effective because they're holding the camera, so you have that anticipation of what's next, that sort of thing, and they give it to you. It's great. So those are the three stories, and then of course there's an amazing wraparound, which leads to the conclusion of why or why not, I guess why, the deputy is vanished. I didn't really understand that, and there's only so much I could say without spoiling it, but based on what you learn about the little girl in the house, and then the supernatural elements, and what's the word, of the spirits that are in the house, they don't really match what... oh, fuck it. All right, so the story that the guy reads in the girl's diary is basically that she plays a tape, and then she has visions, and the visions become harsher and harsher, telling her to kill her family. And then the last page of the diary, she's like, I'm going to kill my family. Turn the page, there's nothing there. It was great. But it didn't quite match up to me at the end. Even though it was very creepy, it didn't... What you see in the house doesn't match up what I expected to see based on what she wrote in the diary, if that makes any sense. Again, I'm sorry if I'm giving away too much. But all the same, nonetheless, it's still very creepy, very effective. The jump scares are great. The makeup effects on all of the, what are they called? Spirits, evil spirits, ghosts, whatever, apparitions are very creepy, very good imagery. Again, ghosts coming upstairs, and a lot of just great jump scares. And also think Groundhog's Day, or not Groundhog's Day, but the sheriff can't get out of the house, right? So he keeps going to the front door to get out, and it leads him back to the living room where the videotape is, and that's really creepy. I just really like that a lot. And yeah, so it's just really good. I don't know what else to say. The stories are great. The twists are great. The wraparound is great. The acting is solid. The special makeup effects are good. They could be better. The only issues that I had were I thought some of the endings to some of the anthology shorts were a little bit weak. I'm trying to remember the ending of the actual film, and I think it was pretty solid. But again, I have that issue with what you see doesn't quite match up to the history of the house. Again, you'll have to watch it to find out. I highly recommend the movie. I would definitely suggest you guys get it. I don't know where it's available, other than you can go to the Fear Footage Instagram page and pick this up. It's like $19, $20 ship, or probably $23 ship. Well worth it. Well worth it. It's BDR though, so if you're a OCD type dude who can't handle a BDR, then don't get it. But it's worth it. It's great. And support indie horror. This is indie horror at its finest. It's very much in the vein of Blair Witch, VHS, Terrifier, those sort of, the first Terrifier, again. I don't know why I can't remember the damn name of that movie, but something horror, right? Check it out. Fear Footage, 2018. Highly recommend it. Thanks for watching, guys. Sorry if I spoiled this, but get it, watch it. It's great. Peace.